Hey guys, I am Jim with War Barn. What I do here is I restore, or try to restore, okay, World War II Axis vehicles. So I'm checking out something here. It's for a Kettenkrad. The Kettenkrad has kind of an overly complex, dated cooling system. So why don't you come on in here? So I've had this vehicle, I've had others for about 20 years. I was never concerned about the cooling fan and the gear reduction because I was going to go with an electric fan, a modern electric fan, just with a little switch attached to someplace where you don't see it underneath, driver's compartment. It's still keep its originality, remain from the outside fine. It would actually probably run better, and that's what a lot of these collectors do. They use the electric fan, and these parts here, they just store them for safekeeping, so you can at least, if you wanted to sell the thing for some weird reason, you could still say, hey, I got the original fan, I got the original gear drive, and all that. So hey, come on here, let me show you what I'm talking about. So somebody told me this was magnesium. I'm not sure if it's magnesium or aluminum, but as you can tell, there's a complicated casting process involved with making this. It looks like this might be iron, and this is pressed in. This axle channel, whatever you want to call it, but this is original nonetheless. So here's the gears that I'm talking about. Now, I'm on a forum. The forums are very helpful for these specialized vehicles called Friends of Kettenkrad. Other collectors who have these items, these vehicles, share ideas, share parts. Somebody makes a part. Sometimes they'll make it for other people in the forum, etc. And there's a ton of information on there. So hats off to Martin. I was talking with Martin recently, and he pointed a few things out on the gear drive for this fan. So come in here. So there were three types. They all pretty much had the same backing plate. The first type had a gear reduction. The reason being is the first batch was destined for North Africa. So they felt that the standard cooling, or the cooling that they originally designed, wasn't good enough. So the fan with this drive would spin faster. There was bigger blades on the earlier one. So I actually have like a European version. So there was, I guess, two fans. One with bigger fan blades was the first one. This would be considered the second and the last one. So, but as far as this gearing, there was three kinds. Here's the gear reduction. So that would be considered the early one. And also on the early version, notice all this complex mesh gears, bearings, spacers, clips, holders. Very complicated compared to a new vehicle. So on the new ones, not the new ones, the initial ones, here's a dipstick. What is this dipstick for? Why is there oil inside here? Well, let me show you. So if I take these screws off, there's actually an oil pump built in for the gear drive, for the fan, for the cooling system. So hey, that's really cool. Yeah, technologically, I am impressed. Boy, is that complicated. Okay, so there you have it. I mean, I could use this. Looks like the gears are fine. I got parts over the last 30 years. I don't remember where I got what. Okay, but I'm still happy to have this nonetheless. So let me show you. Let me put these back on really quick so I don't lose this stuff. With all the stuff I got laying around, we don't need any missing pieces. So yeah, if I were to use this, you could simply make a gasket, put another screw and bolt. Looks like the gears are good. Take them off, lube them up, and obviously there's some kind of oil that goes inside there. So another reason why people don't use these things is all these gears, shafts, there's couplings. These couplings here attached to the motor. There's another coupling here. There's some, I don't know what you call composite spacers that flex. Okay. Really overcomplicated, and then that attaches to the pulley off of the engine. So let me show you briefly how that would go on. Come over here. Again, another complicated big piece of cast iron, this is cast iron, is where this gear drive would go in. So this gear drive is going to go in the back of here, okay? And then where this coupling is, goes to the engine. Once again, the engine's going to be here, and the power will go that way, okay? And not the power, but the gear belts, the generator, pulleys would be here, whereas the axle will go towards the front, towards the gear drive. So yeah, once again, this would go in here, and then the fan is going to attach to this on the other side of that. So let's grab the fan and let's go around to the other side, and I can show you what I'm talking about. So if you get down in here, you can see the housing for the gears. This isn't the way you would put it on, I don't think. Let's see, I never tried it this way. And that's where that would go. So the axle off of that gear assembly will come onto here, and it would push the air past the radiator. So here's the housing, here's a little inspection cover. This housing in itself is kind of complicated, okay? But it is what it is. No expenses spared, I guess, way back then. So yeah, excuse me, here's where the radiator would go, about this thick, blow all the hot air through, and there's a channel here. What else is on here is the radiator goes here where it's blowing hot air. There is a winter kit where you can actually blow the hot air as it comes through the cooling device, and it goes back down the channel, back to the driver's compartment. So yeah, a little bit of a complex system. Here's the rear lubrication for the torsion bars. Torsion bar supports, I should say. So those are on there. That's all been redone. Here is the exhaust that got ready to go. And here is that lever I was talking about. This is actually the lever from the driver's compartment that goes onto a flap that closes the exhaust from going out. So in the summertime, you'd want this open to exhaust these hot air gas out to cool the engine. In the wintertime when it's cold, that flap would close via this lever, and that hot air can recirculate back into the driver's compartment. So yeah, there. Just something I share with you. Now, am I going to use that or not? Most likely not. Like I said, let's take one more look here. So once this is all buttoned up, and I have the electric fan in place of the gear drive over there, and it'll be right inside there. Like you wouldn't see it unless you flip this up, and this is underneath the seat. So by going with the electric fan, you're going to have a superior cooling, better than the original. For a fraction of the price, it'd be a lot easier to fix as well. So guys, that's where I'm at with this. Thanks for watching. If you like what I'm doing, give me a like. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Thanks a lot, guys. You guys have a good one.